Jason here. Just had a recent request for creating clothing in Maya, so I thought I'd do a short video just to go into it. So you can see here, this is a character that I've got from Maya, and I've just created some clothing. It's relatively easy to do. Without further ado, let's get going. Okay, so in Maya, in modeling, you'll need to go through to where it says generate. Click on generate and then go to where it says get brush. Click on that. Now here you'll see you've got a little drop down menu here, and where it says modeling, so if you're seeing that, you'll need to go on modeling, then it'll go through to people, and what you want to do is where it says sculpting base meshes, you'll need to go to where it says bipeds. Click on that. And then you'll be presented with a different array of figures, and what we're going to do is going to click on where it says human body. Just going to double click, and you'll see there, if I just move this over onto my other monitor, you'll see there now we've got our character. Now we're going to need two, because we're going to need one for the clothing and one to put clothing on. So before I do that though, I'm just going to go right click and go to assign new material, just to make this a bit more neutral grey, and then I'm going to hit Shift and D and then W and just move this over to one side. So let's concentrate on the clothing first. Zoom in. So basically we're going to create a t-shirt. So in order to do this, what we're going to have to do is basically get rid of the head, get rid of the arms, and get rid of the legs. We do that by, first of all, let's do the easy one. Let's go to face. And then I'm going to go through, and if it helps, you can go spacebar and go through to the front view if you want to be a bit more precise. And zoom in. And then we can basically just use the marquee tool, come over there to say somewhere like that. And again, hit spacebar. We can have a look and just see what it looks like from that view. Now, there might be some of this where you might want to adjust it. So we're not going to get like a circle, of course. We'll have to do a little bit of manipulation, but that kind of looks okay. If you want to kind of do a little bit more, you can do, but we will probably go for something like that. Then all we're going to do is hit backspace. We'll get rid of the head. Next is the arms. So the easy way of doing this is, again, what I'm going to do is with faces selected, I'm going to select one square. Let's just zoom in a little bit. Hit one square. Hold Shift, double click until you create a band, and then go backspace. Yeah. So you'll end up with something like this. In fact, let me just double back a second. I might just do it around about there. So I'll hit that one there, double click, and then backspace, just so we've got a little bit more of an arm for our t-shirt. There we go. Now, in order to kind of get rid of the arm, what we're going to do is we're going to stay on face, and I'm going to go click, and then holding down Shift, double click, and then just double click basically until it's selected the entire arm. Then we go through to edit mesh and detach, and then mesh and separate. So now we've got a separate arm. Just going to click on that, hit backspace. Okay. So this is a very, very quick way of doing it. I can see there we just missed one, so I'm going to go to face on that, mesh, and detach. And then separate. There we go. We'll do the same on the other side. And lastly, we've got the legs. So we're ready to rock and roll. Okay, so once we've got that, we can do some tweaking with the neck if you want to. You can do things like, for example, if I go to vertex, you can do things like click on one of the vertexes, and you can give some shape to the neck. That's one way of doing it. If you want to kind of do it with both of them, you can do that as well. So you could basically select one vertex on one side, shift and select one vertex on the other side, and then maybe use like the scale tool and bring things in that way if you want it a little bit more uniform. So I'm going to go to object mode. And what we're going to do here is we're going to bring our character now into the frame. So we're basically going to just hover it over if I hit F and just zoom in a little bit, we'll bring it over to where our character is. Now, obviously, it's getting obscured by this. Also, if you want to shift the pivot, by the way, you can go through to where it says Modeling Toolkit, go to Edit Pivot. You can actually shift this pivot all the way up to the character and click off. You can do the same thing as well with the t-shirt. So we can click on that, again, Edit Pivot, just makes life easier. So like that, and then there we go. Right, let's move this back into position. Oh, before we do that as well, what I want to do is I just want to go to Material Attributes. And I'm just going to change the color. So you can make it any color you want. Let's make it blue this time. Something like that. Not the character, of course. I'm just going to do the character there, the t-shirt there. And let's have a look at the material attributes again. So it appears to be changing that. That's no worries. We'll just assign a new material to that. There we go. Right. So I'm going to move this character in. And obviously it's a little bit too snug. So what we're going to do is with the t-shirt, we are going to use the scale tool just to expand it out a little bit. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to create an Enclosure with this t-shirt. So again, this might need a little bit of tweaking. So once you've got this position, we're ready to create our Enclosure. So how we're going to do that is we're going to go through to the box here, where it says modeling, go through to FX, and then where it says Enclosure here, we're going to click on that and go to create Enclosure. Now, once we do that, it is going to change the color. What we can do though, just for visual purposes, what we can do is we can just go through to the Lambert and we'll just change the color again there. So something like that. Okay, so that's all looking good. And then what we're going to do is we're going to, with this selected, we're going to hold down Shift and click on the character. And then we're going to go back to Enclosure and we're going to go to where it says Create Passive Collider. Click on that. Now, that's where the magic happens. Make sure you're at the beginning of the timeline here. So this is set to about 200 frames. That should be enough. Then all we need to do is hit play, and you should by rights start to see the t-shirt begin to move. There we go. Now you can let this play for as long as you like. It will just kind of keep moving around, but basically, as you can see there, it's kind of applying physics to it and creating like a bit of a sort of sag. So again, you can be the judge on this, but I'll basically maybe like stop it around about there. And then, hey presto, you've got a t-shirt. And of course, with this, in its current state, you could take, say, something like this, and then if you wanted to apply textures to it, of course, you could use the 3D cut and sew. Just go back to the modeling, and of course, you know, in the UVs, 3D cut and sew tool, you can go around and cut your seams and do all that kind of stuff. But that's essentially how to create the clothing. Hopefully you found this useful, folks, and of course, if you're watching this on YouTube, be sure to give us a like, comment and subscribe, and of course, if you've got any questions, please leave them in the comment section. Alright, that's it for now, folks. Thanks for watching, and I shall see you in the next video. Bye for now.